Hi everyone, welcome back to Flat Out, and today I thought I would talk to you about how to afford your dream cars. Now, for me, it was a lot of trial and error, but I've got a few tips that should help you afford your dream car, or at least get very close to it. Now, one of the first things I want to touch on is deposit. At least here in Canada, a lot of the time the dealers ask you to put down a pretty hefty deposit. And they'll ask anything from 10, 15, even $20,000 as just a deposit on the car. Now, for some people, that's easy to do. You can just drop that money straight away. But for others, it's a bit harder to get a deposit like that. And, here's a couple reasons why you want to give a big deposit. One, it drops your monthly payments. At the end of the day, it just makes it more affordable to afford that type of car. Now, when you want to put down a big deposit, here's a tip that I found. Go to your bank that you've been banking with for quite a while and talk to them about a personal loan. A lot of the time, you'll actually find a bank will give you a better interest rate on a personal loan than the dealership's going to give you on the car. So, to give you an example, if you buy a car that's $60,000 and the dealership will talk to you and say, okay, cool, $60,000 at about 8% interest or 7.99. I do know it's a lot less in the US, but here I'm just putting about an average percentage on a car, that you're looking at anywhere between 5.99 and 6.99 here in Canada on top of the purchase price. Now, what you could do is go to your bank, go to get a personal loan for $20,000. That's your deposit. And often, for example, the bank would give you a interest rate of 4%. So now you're paying back 20,000 at 4% and 40,000 at 8%. And it might not sound like a lot, but you're saving 4% on $20,000. And if you take a 4, 5, 6 year term, it really does add up. When it comes to owning a car like this, remember a lot of people, even if they can buy them outright, prefer to finance because it does increase your credit. And at the end of the day, that money is probably more useful somewhere else, whether it be investing in buying a house or investing in stocks or whatever you would like to do. It would be much smarter to make that money work for you than just dump it all into a car. Definitely put down a decent deposit, but do not go broke trying to afford a dream car. It needs to work with your current financial situation. Next tip I'm going to give you on affording your car. Now, this is not really a tip on how to afford the car, but it's how to maintain the car. Because at the end of the day, affording the car is not just buying it, but it's maintaining it. So it would be a great idea to actually go to your local dealer and see what servicing would cost and what are routine sort of things that will go wrong on these cars and just what it costs to repair them. So to give you an example, and this is completely sort of irrelevant, I guess, but it all depends on you and where you are. But at least here where I am in BC, Canada, a service for my Shelby GT350 is about $200, 180 to $200, and that's just your oil change, filters, and all that sort of stuff. But once you have a rough idea of what it will cost to maintain your car, do make sure you have a buffer in your bank account and that you can easily afford to maintain the car. There's no point in, scrambling together and just trying to get every last dollar from your paycheck to just pay to maintain the car and keep it on the road. Another good idea is to also look at the fuel economy of the car. Now, again, I find this Shelby for me is very fuel efficient. You may not. So I would highly recommend you look at the MPG of the car and, what the distance is to your place of work or where you're going to be traveling back and forth to very often, and work out what it will cost you monthly roughly to drive the car. But yeah, never take the first number a dealership will throw at you. Often at times they're trying to squeeze as much profit as they can get out of the sale, and you must fight back and actually just say, no, I'm not quite happy with that rate. Do you think we could do something better? They'll say, we're going to go speak to the manager, and they'll step away for 10, 15 minutes and they'll come back usually with a better rate. And this can all come down to your deposit and anything of that sort. There's a number of different things that add up to your monthly payment. But let's say you're putting nothing down and you want, or at least a small amount down, and you want low payments, I would recommend that asking them for a better rate, and usually they can drop your rate by a little bit. A buddy of mine, in fact, owns a base model 2020 Mustang GT, and he's paying about $250 bi-weekly, which is honestly a steal for what it is. And he was just persistent and said, this is what I'm going to pay. This is where I'm at on this type of car. And he had to shop around a bit and go to a couple dealerships, but he got it in the end. Shop around. Remember, there's not just one car out there, and that's the end all be all. There will be multiple of the same car that you can still get a better deal on, and you will find the right point in your life. So for me, what I was looking for was the track package and the tech package together on my GT350. I really wanted white with blue stripes, but I would have considered a blue with black stripe car. And I shopped around for a while. I was actually looking at a white GT350 track package and tech package, also with the Recaro seats like this car. And I just wasn't happy with the price the dealer was offering. And every time we spoke about monthly payments and the deposit, I just felt for the deposit that they wanted and the prices they were giving me on my bi-weekly payments, they were just way out from what I was willing to pay. And I mean, I waited and I got this car, which was even better. It was better nick, it was cleaner, it was more well kept after. The other car had a couple dings in it and, a couple bits of scratched paint here and there, whereas this car was absolutely perfect. And, this car came about 3 months after I looked at that car. So, shop around, wait, the right car will come. Now, one of the main things the dealer is going to look at when you buy one of these cars is credit. Now, it's very important to have good credit, especially if you're looking at quite a high-end car. And, the good ways to get your credit up is get a cell phone plan, get a credit card and pay it off on time. Don't have any late fees or anything like that. And, if you don't have good credit now, work on getting good credit and a year or two, try again. It really does help a lot. I mean, even on my car right now, I'm paying 3.75% interest on this car because of good credit. And, if I had bad credit, I could have a much higher interest rate, or I could not even get the car, possibly. So, work on your credit and try have as good credit as you can going into this process. The dealer's not going to take you seriously if you walk in there and you're blacklisted. Even if you have a ton of money in the bank, they're going to see that you're blacklisted and they're going to give you skyrocketed interest fees and rates, and you can do better if you just get your credit up. Be realistic. Now, you can't walk into a Lamborghini dealership with a $30,000 salary and expect to walk out of there with an Aventador or a Huracan. They are going to take one look at your bank statement and just go, no, what are you doing here? So be realistic in what your dream car is right now that you can afford. And, the dream car that, you have in your mind, like that Lamborghini, it will come. You can get there. But what can you have right now to, satisfy that craving until you get there? And for me, I've always wanted a Shelby. And, for me, I thought it was a perfect stepping stone on my way to getting my supercar, my next supercar. And I did consider a couple cars when I got this. I was looking at an R35 GTR and a few other cars. But, I just found this was the best car and choice for me. And, looking into the future, I will get something obviously at the next level, but this is still helping me build credit. I'm not going to lose any money on it. In fact, I think I've actually made money owning this car with the way the COVID prices has hyped up the price of any sort of performance car. Don't give up. Now, this car, I went to a dealer here locally, and they told me, no, we can't really do the finance. Now, I'll give this whole story in another video, but at the end of the day, I spoke to multiple dealerships, and I eventually spoke to one dealership that said, oh, of course we can do financing. What are you talking about? We can see that your credit is good, that you have the deposit together for the car. We can definitely do it. So don't take the first no you hear. Now, once you've got your personal loan, including your deposit out of that personal loan, and you go to your dealership and you put down the deposit on your car, make sure that you get a extended warranty plan on the vehicle. It really does help in the end, and I know the upfront costs are sometimes a little bit high, but trust me, it's a great peace of mind to just have at the end. And I hope all these tips help you afford your dream car. It definitely worked for me. And again, there are some other things depending where you live, what country, what province in Canada. But at the end of the day, these are just a few tips that will definitely help you save up. Just go to your bank, see what they'll do for you on a personal loan. Trust me, most of the time it's going to be a much better interest rate than the dealership is willing to offer you. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment for more. Thank you.